Welcome to Peter and Roughie's Football Show, your daily fix of football chat here on STV. Delighted to have your company, and the main talking points tonight. Scott Brown is out for the next 8 to 12 weeks with a knee injury, so Celtic will have to do without him ahead of the Europa League match against Ajax. They'll also have to do without the suspended Nir Bitton and Stefan Johansson. Could this be a chance for Scott Allan to step up to the plate? We'll discuss that, as well as Inverness striker Danny Lopez has apologised for spitting at a player in an under-20 game, and also both halves of Manchester are looking for positive results tonight in the Champions League. Just a few of the things we'll be talking about. Alan Rough is alongside me, Peter Martin, and I'm delighted to say our boot-room guest, no stranger to scoring goals for Celtic, is Frank McAvennie. Good to have you with us, lads. Let's deal with Scott Brown first of all. How big a blow, Roughie?
It's a big blow. He's a big player for them, and just as you've touched on it there, in light of Bitton being out and Johansson being out, it's going to be a tough night in midfield. It's going to be interesting to see what the selection is going to be. I see Charlie McGlue is saying he is making himself fit.
Is that a new player?
McGlue. It says it's Charlie McGlue. McGlue, he hasn't played in 2 months.
Well, I know, but stranger things have happened. You know, when you've got a big player like that, and you know he can play in numerous positions. Sometimes managers make gambles, and that for me would be a gamble.
Well, I was going to say to you, Ronnie Dyler did mention today at the press conference that Scott Allan is getting close to first team action, but my gut feeling is I don't think this is a game where you throw somebody who's come from the Championship in.
He's definitely got the talent, but and he's got the confidence, little guy. So yeah, it was a gamble at the weekend. They put Scott Brown in at the weekend, and it was obviously not fit. It was 2 yards, not even a yard short, Scott, and they won't be happy with that. And so it was obvious something's wrong with his knee. I don't know who they're going to put. Charlie McGrue's not playing the game. You know, I don't know if they'll put him in there. I really don't. I think they'll put Rogic in there. I don't know who else they're going to put. Chris Cummins is not fit. I don't know what way they're going to play it. They'll need to play, you know, maybe Armstrong in there. I don't know, and get him Mackay Stevens out wide, and I really don't know. Forrest maybe. I don't know how Ronnie's going to play it, but he's got to go for it. He's got to be attack minded. I'm just fearful that Ronnie just has one plan, and it's plan A, and if it doesn't work, he doesn't change it. You know, Ajax will not be the team that Celtic played over there. They've been getting a lot of good results recently, and I think they scored about 6 goals at the weekend.
Yeah.
So that'll be a tough ask. I think it'll be a very tight game.
Yeah.
So, but they've got to go for it. There's no point in going out and getting a draw. It's no good to us. Celtic need to win.
Yeah, Roughie, all the gods seem to be conspiring against Celtic for this one, and as Macca mentioned, they did have a good 5-1 win at the weekend. Ajax are on a good run, they're top of Eredivisie. They're not the Ajax of old, but this is a competition that really not a lot of people are really enthused about anyway. But from Celtic's point of view, it's 2 wins or it's over.
Yeah, and I think it really needs to be 2 wins. I dread to think what would happen tomorrow night if it was a defeat. I think there'd be a large reaction with the Celtic fans. I know Peter Lawwell's come out and backed the manager, but if it was a defeat, and particularly a bad defeat, I'm sure the supporters will let them know that they're not particularly happy.
Yep, and if Fenerbahce should win against Molde, then the loser of this game tomorrow night is completely eliminated from the tournament. So Scott Brown, big blow. Give us your thoughts on that at Peter and Roughie on Twitter and facebook.com/Peter and Roughie. You can go to peterandroughie.com and give us your view on whether that could have implications, Macca, for the league as well, because he won't kick a ball until 2016.
Yeah. Well, when you look to him at the weekend, unless Scott Brown's fit, you'd better not have him in the team, because he doesn't do himself. I know he's a captain, he doesn't do himself any justice in there. I don't know, I think they could be struggling for centre midfield for a holding player. Maybe play Ambrose in there. he might put Ambrose, because that's, I mean, he was bought as a right back, but he's played in midfield before, and if they're struggling, then that might be the place to put him out the way, put him in there just to stop things.
I get the feeling that they'll go for the likes of Armstrong, Maka. I think they'll look for.
I think so, you know, and Roger.
Armstrong's been telling everybody that's where he wanted to play.
I know.
That's a position that he's not had a chance to show anybody at Celtic what he can do.
And
so
Roger deserves his moment.
Of course he does. He's getting sharper with every game. I would like to see him a bit quicker, you know, but he's got great technical ability. So, yeah, he deserves his place.
OK, we're going to talk about one of your old sides again, Maka St Mirren. It was a late show with an equaliser against Raith Rovers and a good free kick as well to seal the point.
Of course, it was. Listen, by all accounts, they were awful again. So I was speaking to some boys in Paisley this morning, and they were saying they were terrible, but they've got a point. Maybe it's just a little lift that they need. I know Alec Miller's in there, and you know, Ian Murray was on talking about he doesn't, because the fans were booing him. Don't care about the fans, he says. I think I know more about football than the fans, and you know, when you start saying things like that, you've got to be careful, because the fans can, you know, it's not nice when they're booing you, but you just got to be careful what you say, because the fans are a big part of a football club.
Yeah, but listen, you know, he's got to be given that time to try and put his own ideas in, Roughie.
Yeah, I think the board obviously brought a young manager in. They know particular the resources that there is at the club just now. He's not got much to play with. So it depends what he's doing behind the scenes. It depends if he looks a very organised guy. We've had him in, and he wants to be successful. So it's up to the board to back him.
And of course, well done, Roughie, to Albion Rovers. They got a 2-1 win coming back from a goal down against Cowdenbeath. They're now third in the table. Yeah,
but it's been a good year for them. I don't think the expectations have been where they are in the league just now, but they're getting results, and it's another team that have progressed, and they'll be looking for at least a playoff position.
OK, give us your take on Spitting Lads, because Inverness Cali Thistle have fined Dan Lopez 2 weeks' wages, and I think John Hughes wants to kind of draw a line under it, unless of course the board take a different action, but the lad has apologised. It's not something we like to see in the game.
No, it isn't. There's no doubt about that. But there are bigger people than him have made worse mistakes, and because of who they are, we've moved on. And Suarez in particular, we're still raving about him. So these things happen in the game. As long as he apologises, as long as it doesn't happen again, and you should move on from it.
As they say, they should learn. As long as you learn off your mistakes, and I should know about that. But this boy, he's apologised. John Hughes was not happy with him. But you know, some of the press that he got, you think he committed murder. You know, it was it's a horrible thing. But move on. He's been fined. He's apologised. As Alan says, just move on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, this is a very poignant day if you were a Manchester United fan, because it's the 10th anniversary of George Best's death. We highlighted it at the weekend, of course. You know, we were lucky up here to even just get a glimpse of him in a Hibs strip. And I can remember him scoring a wonderful goal against Celtic at Easter Road. It was almost like just a little cameo of what had gone before Maka.
It was different class. I mean, I was very, very fortunate to know him very well. So I became sort of a pal with him, if you like. He was a great lad, sadly missed, you know. And in football terms, as we said, he retired at 26. What could he have been if he'd have carried on his career? If somebody got hold of him, and you know, maybe a Sir Alex, I don't know, maybe somebody like that could have put their arm around him rather than just keep threatening him and all that with different things. I just don't know what could have happened with George Best, because he was a magnificent talent.
Yeah, I mean, they often say managers will persevere if you've got somebody who's a genius on your hands, Roughie. I mean, I can remember him, you know, in the lower league in England, playing for Fulham with Rodney Marsh. Magnificent. Went to America, scored a wonder goal over there. He was just a fantastic player. I wish I'd seen him in all his glory at Manchester United. He
was poetry in motion, there's no doubt about it. He just had a balance about him who had that wee dip of the shoulder and just waltzed by people. I remember when he came with Northern Ireland to a Scotland game, and he won the game single-handedly. It was absolutely amazing. I personally had a great privilege that he phoned me the night before before a game, see if I wanted to go out for a drink with him. I never went.
I know. Apparently, he's phoned 11 people before you.
Isn't it amazing that George Best would be friends with these two characters? I mean, I just wonder exactly what the attraction was for him.
I used to go. He had a place in Dover Street called Blondes, so it was
funny that.
Funny, that was nice.
Okay.
It was very good. We'll move on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for book number 2. Anyway, George Best, 10th year since his passing, and sadly missed. But I think a lot of people remember him with great fondness for what he achieved on the park. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about George's old club, Manchester United, there in Champions League action. We'll also talk about Manchester City and whether they can go far in the Champions League. We'll look back on last night's results for the other two teams in the Champions League, of course, Chelsea and Arsenal, and lots more Scottish football as well after the break. Welcome back to Peter and Roughie's Football Show. Alan Rough is alongside me, Peter Martin. Frank McAvennie is our bookroom guest. Prior to the break, we were talking about George Best at Manchester United. The current Manchester United side are in action tonight alongside City. Are they the type of team that can go far in this tournament? Manchester United, they beat PSV Eindhoven tonight, they're through.
I think eventually they'll get found out defensively. I can't think why, with all the money that they've spent, they haven't spent a world-class centre-half, or even somebody near world-class. They haven't done it. They haven't, I think, improved their back four in any way.
You don't think Smalling's stepping up to the plate now?
No, he's not a centre-half for me. He's not a PK. He's not even any of the other big centre-halves they had. But and I think when they come up against a Bayern or somebody like that, the strikers, they'll get found out.
Strangely enough, there's another side with even more spending power, if that's humanly possible, across the city in Manchester City. I know that Sergio Aguero thinks they can go far in the tournament. I still don't think they've got the makings of European football.
I don't think
tonight will be tough against Juventus.
I don't think they'll win tonight. I think Juventus will beat them. They get an absolute drubbing the weekend with Liverpool. So it's not where you're wanting to go to Juventus and win a game. I don't see it. Juventus are on fire at the moment. They're playing really well, playing good football. So I don't see Man City go. I don't think they're good enough to go. They're a bit like Arsenal. I think they're a bit too, what do you call it, tippy-tappy. They want to walk into the net. Instead, sometimes you just, you're seeing some of the supporters. I've heard some of the supporters are saying they're just shouting at the telly or shoot.
Yeah.
They just don't do it. They want to walk it in, Peter, and it's the same as Arsenal, and I think that's what's going to cost them.
Well, to be fair, if there's one player I do like in their side, and when he's there, I think they've got a chance, is Aguero.
He's the only one that shoots. He's the only one that takes it on his, takes it on himself. He just takes it upon himself to score, because everyone else wants to, they want to walk it in, and he'll go and put in a little shift in and hit fair edge of the box if he has to.
And we would love Roughie to be talking about Scottish clubs in European competition, the top competition rather than the Europa League. Last night it was Arsenal and Chelsea that had to bounce back. Chelsea did indeed get another confidence boosting win after their slender win over Norwich at the weekend.
Yeah, it's amazing. I was hearing people talking about Chelsea this morning, saying that it's going to be a bit of a struggle for them to get into even the top 4 in England. I think that might be the case, but European football, the manager has got the CV for it. He knows how to go away and get results in Europe. For me, as I've said to you numerous occasions, the sooner Courtois comes back, the better. I think when you get to the latter stages of the Champions League, you need big goalkeepers to make the big saves, and I don't think this one can just now.
Yep, and Arsenal, I'm not too sure it's down to the last game for them now. Destiny in their own hands, Macca.
Well, they've got big thanks to Bayern then, haven't they? Because they get 4. But to all credit to Arsenal, they could have scored more last night. It could have been, but it didn't look. They were their own worst enemy. They were giving the ball away to Arsenal in the final third, and you're just going to get only one thing's going to happen when you're playing against a team like that, and it's they're going to get punished, and that's what they did last night.
They could rue the misses because they've got to go over to Olympiacos and they've got to win 2-0, haven't they?
They've got to win 2-0. I think Olympiacos, I don't think that on Arsenal, if they play on the night, they'll get the 2 goals, but they could have scored a lot more last night.
Okay, and of course I didn't get your prediction on it, but Celtic against Ajax. What's your take on that, Macca?
It depends on the team. As you rightly said earlier, there's a lot of injury problems. I'm hoping that Celtic will win. They need to win the 2 games. I mean, it's for the fans more than anything else. They need to win it, and they've let themselves down in the past, and I'm hoping that they all can stand up and be counted on Thursday night.
Yeah, can you see them win both games or one?
I think they might beat Ajax, but they won't win the second one.
Okay, Roughie?
Yeah, I think they might narrowly win tomorrow night. The defence looks a wee bit more solid with a new signing back in there. They've got to find goals. They've got to find, I think, 2 goals because they're liable to lose 1.
Yeah, we already have the details of the cost of a ticket for the first semi-final. The second semi-final details have been released. You can get tickets for Ross County against Celtic, Roughie, £25 for an adult in some sections. Some sections you can get it for £20, and if you're under 16, a £5.
I think that's pretty reasonable. I think it's excessive. It still is a lot of money. If you're going along there with a couple of kids, it's a fair old trip.
Oh no, if they're under 6, it's a £5.
Yeah, under 16.
16, there you go. It's not a £5. You're a miserable.
Did you know
He's a miserable. He's still a bit dear, a £5.
Premier League, Roughie, it's £100 if you get 2 quid.
Yeah, exactly. My dad always took me to the game when I was 16.
But we used to get lifted over. We used to get lifted over the turnstiles. It was brilliant.
To him, he was playing for Partick Thistle when he was 16.
I
a couple other little stories I want to get your thoughts on as well, lads. It's a tough start for Jackie McNamara down at York City. He managed to get out of Dundee United and have a short spell where he had to pick himself up from losing his job at Tannadice. York City are second bottom of League 2, Macca, and I'm looking at the results. They were hammered at the weekend, 6-0 by Portsmouth. He hasn't had a win since he started. In fact, York City haven't had a win in 3 months in the league.
They're not a very good team, but Jackie's got to get down there. He's got to stop them from Portsmouth are a good team. He's got to stop them getting hammered like that. That's the first thing he's got to do. Get a bit of confidence into the team. I believe in Jackie. He's a good coach. Whether he can get down there, can't go any lower than York, but you've got to start getting results. Nobody would have expected him to beat Portsmouth, but they wouldn't have expected him to get drubbed 6-0.
Yeah, I always think it's difficult, Roughie, for a Scottish manager going down, and especially in the lower leagues in England, when you've first of all got to get used to the type of football that's played. He'll have to try then and recruit a style of player that will take him up that league and away from the relegation. And the last thing York City want to contemplate is going into the Conference League, so he's got a big job in his hands. Yeah,
it was a strange one for me, although I don't like seeing managers been out of the game for a long time, because sometimes it's very difficult to get back on. But he didn't wait too long to take that job, and I'd be really interested what attracted him to it. I would have thought his CV.
It's a good stadium in that, Roughie. York's it's a good place to live.
Yeah,
it's a good stadium. The fans are great. And it's an old town, and Jackie would like it, but he's got to get players. He's got to get someone in. First thing we've got to do down there, the language, because they're very hard to understand. The Scottish people down there, I should know. I lived down there for a long time.
Yeah, well, there you are. I think Jackie and Sid will be all right down there in York.
Do you think so?
Football is apparently the language that everybody understands. Let's hope the players can understand his language in a short space of time. Lee Miller is going to extend his stay at Falkirk till the end of the season. I think he's been a good signing for Peter Houston, Roughie.
Yeah, I'm surprised it never worked for him at Kilmarnock. He had a good CV. He was touching on the Scotland international. I think he did play once, and it looked as if, and then his career went downwards with injuries and the like. But I think he'll be good with John Baird. I think if they can get the two of them on the park together, I think they could cause a lot of defences problems.
Yeah, I mean, John Baird was glowing in his praise of him. Macca. He's one of those experienced players, 32 years of age.
It's one of them. You get a good wingman. It's and gives you all the credit. You know, it's. I'm just a great believer. You should always play two anyway. So when you're playing teams like that, and you hear the other striker talking about the boy beside you, and it's nice. It's a good understanding they've got, obviously. So, you know, long may it continue, because folk is a decent club.
Yeah, and of course you are perfectly placed to talk about you know, playing off two strikers who made you the big move. So well done to Mark McGee and Andy Walker for getting his big move to West Ham at the time.
Frank McDougall.
Frank McDougall as well, to name but a few. Gary Locke, now he mentioned something today which caught my eye, Roughie. He said he hopes he can convince Greg Kiltie to stay. He's obviously, his contract's up in January. He's 18 years of age. He hasn't had anything more than 20 starts for Kilmarnock. I'm gobsmacked. I mean, at the end of the day, surely he should be thinking to himself, go through that learning curve, get those 100 games that a James McCarthy or a James MacArthur managed to get before they got a big move.
I think again it depends what kind of advice he's getting, Peter. He's obviously got an agent, you know, he's listening to people round about him, but I think if he looks at the present situation of the young players that are went through that same criteria, a lot of them haven't, you know, the ones that have moved, a lot of them haven't really established it, basically because, as you've said there, they haven't had a lot of games. But it's very tempting. It depends what kind of club comes in and what's on the table for you.
Yeah, well, if he's got any brains at all, he will ask the likes of Scott Allen and Fraser Fivey and a number of others who've all gone down, maybe chased the money and then short term doesn't quite work out. We hope Gary Locke can convince him. We'd like to see some good emerging players stay in Scotland. Thanks to Frank McAvennie and Alan Rupp, from myself, Peter Martin. Thanks for watching.